Welcome to Spa-Francorchamps for the fifth and penultimate round of the Michelin GT3 Le Mans Cup. This is one of the world's most iconic circuits and one that's certainly going to test our drivers' skills to the limit this weekend.
Nestled in lush greenery in the stunning mountain scenery of the Ardennes, the home of the Belgian Grand Prix is a real challenge. It's demanding, it's fast, it's hilly. The key areas are two: Eau Rouge, Radiant and Blanchiment. Both must be taken all but flat out to keep momentum for the fast sectors that follow. Crucial for a good lap and for any possible overtaking opportunities. But that makes it very demanding for the gentleman drivers at the heart of the series.
I think it's my favourite track that I've driven. Wet or dry, it's got unique challenges. I think everybody enjoys the undulations on the track. There's a few really memorable corners here.
There are a couple of tricky corners. Eau Rouge is not for the faint-hearted. Pouillon's not for the faint-hearted, and even Blanchiment, on the limit isn't a no-brainer here either.
My home race, I can drive here without my eyes, so it's a very fast circuit. I like it. Yeah, I think it will be good with the Aston Martin.
I've never raced here before, but I've tested once, and it was the most exciting circuit in the whole world. So I'm very excited to drive a McLaren here at Spa.
I think everybody loves Eau Rouge. If you don't love Eau Rouge, then you shouldn't be racing a car, I think. Eau Rouge and Blanchiment are the two really fast corners, and every lap you take them, they're a challenge. And as a driver, I think it is the most rewarding circuit that we drive.
I've been here before, and machinery is a lot slower than a GT3 race car, so that's just finding the limits. We'll just have to work up to it.
The balance of the car around here is everything, and once you've got the confidence in the high speed stuff, that's where your lap time really comes from. For an amateur, I think it's really where you test yourself.
With just 2 rounds remaining this season, the pressure is building and thoughts turn towards the first ever Michelin GT3 Le Mans Cup trophies to be awarded. We caught up with the main contenders.
9 teams and 10 drivers still have a mathematical chance, but realistically the challenge is now down to the SMP Racing Ferrari, the TF Sport Aston Martin and the Mentos Racing Porsche, and they are now really regretting their crash back in Imola.
The tendency probably has been to start whether it was a sprint, like it was a sprint race. Obviously that mistake costed us dearly in terms of points, and it'll be a different story if we had finished well in that race. We've tried to go for it all season long, but it's an important one. We have to finish first of all. I like Spa, so it's one of my favorite tracks. If there is any possibility of challenging the Ferrari, we'll do our best and we'll see if we can make it.
Likewise, the TF Sport Aston Martin duo picked up a pair of penalties last time out. Then they clearly had the pace advantage over their rivals, but couldn't capitalise and failed to get the result they wanted.
We've had a slight bit of misfortune in certain situations, so we've made it more difficult for ourselves than probably what we necessarily needed to, because our pace has been really, really strong. This being one of our penultimate rounds with Estoril to finish off, there's not too much time in order to claw back some points that we're behind, so I think we're about 10 points behind. So we ideally need to beat the AF Course Ferrari to give ourselves a chance at going for it in Estoril.
Everyone then is chasing the SMP Racing Ferrari. It's been an impressive run of form from our Russian drivers. They've now taken 3 wins in a row to lead the standings.
It is now Ian Victor, it's first position championship. This is now race Spa. It's a good circuit. It's nice. Spa race. It's no risk. And points. It's no risk now.
The Russians have a 10-point lead, but there are 25 on offer for a win, plus a point for pole in qualifying. So while they won't take any risks, they certainly can't sit on their advantage. the championship potentially at stake, that extra point for pole could become even more important. Many teams were desperately hoping the SMP Racing Ferrari wouldn't grab it. But in the first session, Alexei Basov was fastest with an ominously quick 2:20.65, showing he meant business. At the other end of the pack, Mads Rasmussen, Ivar Dunbar and Pieter Lehner were in a fight for the final place to go through to Super Pole. Rasmussen managed to edge ahead on the timing screens and claim 10th place just in time. Into Super Pole, and Thomas Floor was trying to scare the photographers in the number 51, blasting through Eau Rouge, pushing his Ferrari to the limits. Series newcomer Michael Schmetz in the Aston Martin used his local knowledge to take a strong third place. And after two bad races, things were looking up for Hiroshi Hamaguchi. He put in a fast lap late in the session to move the McLaren up to second. But the championship leaders timed it to perfection. Alexei Basov claimed pole at the very end of the session with a 2-minute 19.78 stunner, demoting and demoralising the opposition in one fell swoop. That extra point for pole was a double blow, taking their rivals' chances further away from them by extending their championship advantage.
I'm happy. Plus 1 point championship, and now race it's no risk.
Welcome down to the grid. Now, with just 2 races remaining this season, everyone's thoughts are on the championship battle. With yet another pole position under their belts, the SMP Racing Ferrari is sitting pretty once again at the front of the grid. So, other championship contenders, well, they're starting back in 4th and 5th position on the grid, so they're really going to have to give it everything that they've got. That's the Mentos Racing Porsche and the TF Sport Aston Martin. They really are going to have to pull something special out if they want to keep this championship battle alive. But let's face it, we're at Spa-Francorchamps, so anything can happen. Let's go racing.
Getting ready for this late afternoon start into the evening. The SMP Racing Ferrari on pole position, Alexei Basov ahead of the black McLaren of Hiroshi Hamaguchi. Michael Schmetz in the Aston Martin third, the local driver 4th place, Egidio Perfetti in the Mentos Porsche, and Sally Jolik, our other championship challenger, 5th in the Aston Martin. So heading into the evening, 21 degrees, a warm afternoon here at Spa-Francorchamps, and strangely, there is no forecast for rain. We are ready to go racing. Red lights are on, a long hold, and away we go. Pole sitter Alexei Basov in the red, white and blue Ferrari controls the start. It's 3 wide behind, the Aston on the inside. Egidio Perfetti in the Mentos Porsche goes around him. Out very wide there, Sally Jolik, very wide indeed. He'll lose ground. And it is the McLaren that has the lead. The Aston Martin going through for second. No risks for the Russians. Oh my goodness, you're kidding. He went around the outside into Eau Rouge. That is not a low risk pass on the Aston Martin. Suddenly the lights change and Alexei Basov has forgotten the rules of engagement for the Russian duo. Up the hill comes Hiroshi Hamaguchi. He has the lead. Look at the Aston pulling out on the right-hand side of the picture, trying to go around the Mentos Porsche. Can't quite manage it, and in fact, he's got the modern and classic racing Ferrari inside him, so he gets shuffled down to 6th position. Sally Jolik behind Eric Carroll in that Ferrari. Take a look again at the start, the red, white and blue Ferrari of Alexei Basov controlling the run down to La Source, the first corner hairpin. But watch the McLaren, cuts back underneath him as the Aston Martin get eased out wide, so too Thomas Floor in that silver Ferrari. And it is the McLaren that wins the drag race down the hill ahead of the Aston. Battle for third is the Aston Martin versus the Mentos Porsche. Egidio Perfetti looking for a way around the yellow and white car of Michael Schmetz, and right behind, that's Eric Carroll's red and white Ferrari and Sally Jolik trying to come around him. So our championship contenders are second, that's the SMP Ferrari. 4th, the Mentos Porsche, and 6th, or possibly now 5th, Sally Yolick in the TF Sport Aston. He's trying to go the long way around the outside. No, it's not. Dive bombs Eric Carroll into La Source. The hairpin takes 5th position. Good move from him as they come down the hill. The Mentos Porsche has got by the Aston as well. And trouble behind at the top of the hill. 3 cars off, I think, at La Source. Leaders race on. Yellow flags are out. I think Mark Paul's Lamborghini, Thomas Floor's Ferrari were tangled up there. There they are, both in fact. Well, let's take a look again. Exit of La Source. And that is a classic 2 into 1. Won't go at the hairpin.
We are under safety car. We are under safety car.
Taking a massive hit from the silver Ferrari.
Okay, so be aware, Ivor, there may be some oil on the exit of La Source on the way down to turn 2, but on the inside. So just take care there a little bit.
Francesco, not the start to the race you would have wanted.
Yeah, unfortunately not the start that me and Thomas and of course were expecting, but it's part of the racing, of the game, and the important thing is Thomas is all right. We will see about the car, but what we can do, think of Estoril and keep going.
Safety car is in the pits. Safety car is in the pits.
Back to green flag racing. Still a long way to go in this 2-hour encounter. Hamaguchi leads them across the line in the McLaren. The SMP Racing Ferrari second, Mentos Porsche third. 5th position, the dark Aston Martin. That's the TF Sport car of Sally Yolick. He needs to get back up towards the top 3 contenders. This is really urgent. TF Sport's chances will live on after Spa, or they won't. Depends on their result here. Now, he is coming under pressure from behind. Adrian Delena, the number 14 Ferrari, the yellow and white car, having a look around the back, and here is a challenge perhaps for the lead. Around the outside, Alexei Basov, what a stunning move. Around the outside into Eau Rouge at the start, around the outside into Piff Paff to take the lead from the McLaren. Well, if this is a low-risk strategy, Lord only knows how he's going to drive when the chips are down and they need to come from behind. That's remarkable, but that's the confidence that winning 3 in a row gives the driver. Look at that. The Ferrari just drives around the outside as though Hiroshi Hamaguchi had forgotten the race had restarted. Battle for second position. Here comes Egidio Perfetti in the Mentos Porsche, the white machine behind the black McLaren. Looking left, looking right at the bus stop. He's almost pushing him off the exit of the corner. And Hamaguchi is in the middle of the championship battle here. And running away, Alexei Basov of the SMP Ferrari. And Perfetti couldn't get the run he needed out of the bus stop down to La Source. He's going to try and cut back underneath the McLaren, but that door is closed. Trying times for our championship challengers who aren't Russian Ferrari drivers, because the SMP Racing car is running away out front. The Mentos Porsche in 3rd, the TF Sport Aston still in 5th, but dropping away from this lead group. Adrian Delena being... the McLaren goes off very wide indeed down through the double left at Pouin. Loses second place, and suddenly the Mentos Porsche is free to race on in second and try and chase down the Ferrari. Well, he drifted out wide onto the curbs, and out there all the marbles from the racing throughout the day means it's very low grip. Sally Yolick in the Aston Martin. Number 14 Ferrari behind him has been warned about abusing track limits. And here comes Yolick down the inside. Well, Mikkel Smets in the yellow and white Aston looked like he'd left the door open there. Maybe he realised it was the championship challenger. No, through goes Adrian Delena as well. I wonder whether Mikkel Smets has picked up a problem in that Belgian-entered Aston Martin. He's gone from 4th to 6th. The good news, though, for Sally Yolick is they need to be 4th to keep their championship chances alive. And Smets into the pits, and that is a real shame for the local team. That is an unscheduled stop. They clearly have some sort of problem. Aston Martin driver Sally Yolick's problem is clear also. It's yellow with red stripes. It's the number 14 AF Corsa Ferrari. It's got a good run behind him. Up the long Kemmel Straight they climb in the slipstream. looking to take a slingshot by. He tries inside. He's going to have to go outside Ergin Delena. And Saliolik breaks as late as he dares to hang on to 4th place, but he's really under pressure. Ergin Delena having perhaps his best race of the season so far in the AF Corsa Ferrari. AF Corsa's Mads Rasmussen in the white Ferrari goes around the outside of Cedric Mazard. The Villorba Corsa driver couldn't hold on the run up to Les Combes, and that is the benefit of the slipstream. Rasmussen hauling his way by the red car. There's Victor Scheitar, the SMP Racing driver, awaiting his turn in the Ferrari. Doesn't look too bothered, does he? Nor should he. Alexei Basov has a gap of almost 8 seconds back to Egidio Perfetti in the 2nd place car, the Mentos Porsche. There it is, just getting on to the Kemmel Straight as he turns into Les Combes. That is a very handy lead. Battle for 4th place continues. Ergin Delena in the yellow AF Corsa Ferrari. That's really the Belgian colours of Scuderia Francorchamps historically. All over the back of Saliolik in the TF Sport car. Oh, and he's got a good run going. This time he's got the pass going nice and early. Goes up the inside into Les Combes. Brakes really hard, really late. And through he goes. Good news for them. That is bad news for TF Sport though. They need to finish in the top 4 to keep their championship chances alive. 2nd place, Egidio Perfetti in the Mentos Porsche. And if nothing changes in the order before the flag, the Ferrari duo will win the title here today at Spa. So as the pit stop window approaches, second drivers getting ready. There is a lot of racing still to go. This season, the bronze drivers, the gentleman drivers if you like, have mainly started the races, but it doesn't have to be that way. So what's the team thinking that leads to this strategy?
I think, the bronzes want to race each other. We've seen in other formulas that that hasn't been the case, and I think that it's great when the bronzes are all together and having a good old ding-dong, and certainly the last few rounds that really has happened, especially at Paul Ricard.
The rule says that we can choose which driver start the race, but normally we will start with the bronze driver because we prefer the first part of the race will be done from the bronze, because normally is a more simple part of the race. So the bronze start, and then when you give the car to his teammate and in the middle of the race, more or less, we have a clear situation about the race is going, and then we decide what to do with the silver driver.
It's generally stronger to try and hope for a safety car during the first stint. That will release your best result. If there's no safety car intervention, yes, there's a small argument for the pro starting, building up a lead or having a very good first stint, and then you put your amateur driver in for the duration of the rest of the race, knowing that he hasn't lost maybe 20 or 30 seconds getting the tyres up to temperature in the beginning or negotiating issues over the first few corners. So.
Pit window open, and in comes Egidio Perfetti in the Mentos Porsche to hand over to co-driver Klaus Bachler. 10-minute pit window straddling the end of the first hour, so from 55 minutes into 65 minutes into the 2-hour race, allowing for mid-race strategy to play its part. Hiroki Hamaguchi takes over second place, but he has yet to stop. This is Mads Rasmussen in, and now here is the 72 car, the race leader. So Alexei Basov will hand over to Victor Scheitar. And the battle will be on between the silver-rated drivers, the pros, if you like, to try and wrestle supremacy back after the pit stops. Klaus Bachler already out on track. His outlap needs to be a good one. So does Victor Scheitar's. 88 Porsche was in second place, nearly 10 seconds back, don't forget. What has Klaus Bachler managed to do on his outlap? Hasn't managed to catch the SMP Ferrari. Victor Scheitar with the lead of the cars that have stopped. In from the lead is the McLaren. Adrian Quaife-Hobbs taking over from Hiroshi Hamaguchi, and Ewan Hankey taking over from Saliolik at TF Sport. So pit stops for the front runners are completed. How is it all going to pan out? Charlie George is down at Mentos Racing.
A great opening stint from you there. Klaus is in the car at the moment. Has he got what it takes to catch that Ferrari?
I definitely hope so, and I think so. I think if we have a chance, this is it, and we are all looking forward to it. We'll see. I think the first sector I saw was a second faster, but obviously we pitted before the Ferrari. So we'll have to see once they got their tires stabilized what's the pace.
The good news for Egidio Perfetti is the Mentos Porsche is in second, 2.5 seconds behind Victor Scheitar and closing. But to keep the championship challenge alive, Porsche must win here. Second is not enough. And only Egidio could win the title as Klaus Bacher missed the Le Castellet event. The leader pushing on hard, Victor Scheitar with the 88 Porsche looming larger in his mirrors, running off track. That could be dangerous. Aston Martin in fourth place, the 34 car. Ewan Hankey putting a lap on the 71 Ferrari. And they will be able to take the championship challenge to Estoril if they remain in fourth and the Ferrari wins, but there'll be 1 point the Ferrari will need to take victory. Into the pit lane, Adrian Quaife-Hobbs. And this is a puncture, the team think, on the left rear of the car. Well, he had been the fastest man on track in the McLaren. And they have not had good luck on their side. So new left rear Michelin. That will cure his chronic vibration, but the tyre, it's still got air, but it hasn't got tread. It's delaminated under the stress. Wow.
We may gain a position here. Quaife-Hobbs come in with a suspected puncture.
The Aston up to third in a podium spot. That means the Ferrari, Joe, will need 5 more points at Estoril. Pole will not be enough to clinch the title, but time is running out. The Aston is quicker, won't catch the Ferrari. Will the Porsche? Headlights flashing from Klaus Bacher as he gets by the yellow Ferrari, and now he latches onto the tail of the SMP Racing Ferrari. But there is only 1 lap left here at Spa. Victor Scheitar has the lead. Can Klaus Bacher win this? He must finish in front to keep Egidio Perfetti in the championship challenge. 1 corner down. He didn't get by at the hairpin at La Source. Streaming down the hill now. Going to try and line him up out of Eau Rouge and up through Radillon. Nobody daring to breathe in the SMP Racing garage. Here comes Klaus Bacher on the run into the braking area at Les Combes. The Porsche pulls out, but he has not got enough of an overlap. Victor Scheitar hangs on at one of the key overtaking opportunities. Now Bacher must push with all he's got to keep Egidio Perfetti in the championship hunt. Here they come, up to the bus stop, and the Porsche is not close enough. Surely Victor Scheitar daren't outbrake himself here. Very careful out of the final corner. Checkered flag flies. It is 4 straight wins for SMP Racing, and Egidio Perfetti is out of the championship. But the hunt for the title goes to the final round. Third for TF Sport means that Scheitar and Basov still need 5 more points to be champions in the finale in Estoril.
I think I have some problem from rear right tire. I think my pressure down because car start move sliding. Klaus was very fast, very close, and I just try concentrate. I don't did any mistake, and we can win. I'm happy about it. Now we have a more big gap for the championship. We have 1 more race, and we'll fight for the win. Thank you very much. Katyuha, привет.
We made the best of a bad situation, inheriting third place like that. It meant the damage limitation to the 2 cars in front was less than what it could have been. So, that's the positive, but it's been a pretty tough weekend for us right from the start, really. So I'm happy to at least come away on the podium.
Ewan Hankey and teammate Sally Jolik are 21 points behind with 26 on offer in the season finale in Estoril. They will need an epic weekend to snatch the title away from the Russians.
Well, the circuit is quiet and race control is calm as that marks the end of what was a fantastic race for the Michelin GT3 Le Mans Cup here at Spa-Francorchamps. Do make sure you join us next time for the season finale at Estoril.
ELMS. 4 hours of Estoril.
Join us for the ELMS weekend to see the European Le Mans Series.
the Michelin GT3 Le Mans Cup, and the Renault Sport Series.